Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to this week's Commitments of Traders review. Today we're going to have a look at report number 6 in 2014. And of course, as usual, we're going to start off with the changes in commercials positions. Wow, you may see that we've got indexes on top. All four of our largest changes are index markets. Of course, not surprisingly, these markets, of course, correlate pretty significantly with each other, so we're not that surprised. The changes are definitely large. You may see them over here, and if you look at this 1-year chart, we may state that these are one of the largest changes in S&P 500. What's interesting to see is commercials and large speculators being net short. So large speculators just became net short, meaning only small speculators are optimistic about this market. Of course, that in itself sounds a little bit bearish. So that's a big question. But of course, we're going to open a 5-year chart and see the extreme, whether we have a bearish extreme. But of course, if you've been following these reviews and the COT report, you may know that we're basically moving away from bearish COT extreme levels. And the rally is still there. So in the last couple of weeks, we sort of thought that maybe that was the top. There was a very significant and dynamic decline in prices, but that's over. You may see prices again in rally mode. So we have a bullish COT change signal without any bearish COT extreme signal. And of course, the fact that only small speculators are optimistic about the market sounds bearish, but if you look at the chart, it actually happened a few times in the past and not necessarily had any effect on prices. Moving on to Dow Jones-30, we have a 28% change in commercials positions. Again, similarly to the S&P 500, only small speculators are above the zero line. Only they are net long. Of course, let's just have a look at the 5-year chart, but of course, the COT charts and of course the price chart also are very, very similar to the S&P 500. So I would be just repeating myself. That's why I would like to move on and hop a little bit over to the coffee market, because that 24% change putting coffee to the 5th position is still a very large change in this market. You may see on the chart over here. Of course, these are bearish COT change signals. You may see that the last one, the previous change, did not really have a strong effect on prices, or we may say that basically it stopped this rally, the strength of the rally. But of course, this may continue even more. And I'll open a 5-year chart for those of you who haven't been following my reviews in the past couple of months. I've been talking about the coffee market. The fact that we were at such levels a few reports ago was suggesting that, again, this is a very bullish extreme that's present in coffee market. Of course, it was a tricky situation because we had this for quite some time, since 2012. But eventually you may see that it has affected prices, and we have been seeing prices rallying for the last couple of months now, basically. So the question is, how much strength would we think for the COT change signal? Would it be able to push prices back down? I don't think so. So in my opinion, we're a little bit far from a bearish COT extreme. Not that far, of course, if commercials and large speculators are going to be moving in the same dynamics as they have in the past 2 weeks. We may reach a bearish extreme pretty soon. But we're not there yet right now. So I think this rally could continue because we had this extreme and it's prevailing right now. Moving on to large speculators COT extreme. Here we go. Crude oil, live cattle. Well, live cattle we talked about, but crude oil, that's a surprise to see crude oil with all-time extremes, not only in large speculators, but also in commercial. So let's open crude oil first. And of of course, the 5-year chart right away just to see this extreme on a wider perspective. Here we go. You can see the extreme that is large, it's wide, but we've been there actually, so in the range actually for quite some time. Now, of course, it's a bearish COT extreme, no question about that. You may see that the last extreme we had was just before reaching this top over here, pushing prices back down. So again, we have this bearish extreme, not necessarily at the top. I mean, of course, in a much shorter term, this may be considered a top. So it's a very interesting picture we've got in crude oil, and suggesting that we may see even lower prices. If you look at the chart, though, you may find these extremes coming a little bit earlier than the top or the bottom, of course, if we've been looking for those. Well, this one is actually pretty precise. Also this one. Well, of course, you have to do your analysis. So we're doing it right now together. But this one over here was definitely a little bit early. But you may see that in crude oil, we do have effective COT extreme signals. So that's something to be aware of. Live cattle, again, on top of our list. We've been talking about the live cattle market for quite some time now. This extreme is just widening and widening without any reasonable price reaction. You may see, of course, we may see this continue. I always tell you, it's pretty hard to define the exact top or bottom in case of COT extreme signals. But hey, it's there. Still warning to have your eyes on this market. There's a great potential in live cattle right now. Okay, Dow Jones, we talked about it. Coffee, we've talked about it. Lumber, let's have a look at lumber with its 105 report extreme. Just for a moment, this is going to be our last market for this review. Here we go. Lumber, this is a bullish COT extreme, as you may see, which is quite interesting, having prices reach these levels. But still, if you look at the chart, you may see that usually these extremes are effective signals in the lumber market. And of course, prices may easily continue their rise even more. Okay, that's going to be all for this week. If you would like to have a look at other COT charts, you may do so at our COT charts page. If you would like to have a look at new COT report types like CIT, TIF, or disaggregated, you can do so by clicking on these icons over here, these boxes. You can look at other COT data types, the futures and options. All these underneath the COT analysis tab. If you have the chance, then check it out. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.